Today I want to talk to you all about how I changed my method of keeping grades and data. My first year of teaching, I used paper and pen and printed off my class list with a grid and put in their scores for each assignment, and it worked well until I dropped the papers in a puddle the week before report cards were due, and all my beautiful felt pen marks disappeared. I thought to myself, there must be an easier way. I had binders full of reading conference data, lists full of who did their homework, birthdays, student IDs, test data, who turned in their field trip permission slip and money, what chaperones I had, what passwords everyone had, dismissal plans. Everything was in a different place and I just couldn't do it anymore. So I started creating a Google Sheet that had tabs at the bottom for each of the pieces of data that I needed or wanted to keep track of for my class. Everything in one place. At the beginning of the year, you know that we get a lot of information about our new students, and it's really hard keeping track of it all. So what I did was put all of their previous SOL, math, word study, EL levels, and any data that was important to know about each kid. And then if we were in a child study meeting or a parent conference, I could really quickly pull up the data. This Google Sheet I opened pretty much every day during the school year because of how useful it was. For field trip stuff and money, I usually just go to the side and type in a new column. You can add a checkbox here to quickly check off, or just put an X or highlight the column. And that's really great to keep track of the data that you have. Then I use a different tab for grades. I did every quarter a different tab, so I had quarter 1, 2, 3, and 4. Inside each of those tabs, I color-coded based on the subject. And I put the assignment name at the top, each of the student names on the side. The names are frozen in the column, so when I scroll to the right to see all the data, their names and the assignment names move with me to prevent inputting data in the wrong cell. And what's really cool about this is that I could then highlight the students who I needed to keep an eye on. In my county, a 2 means that you don't know the information yet, and they could retake if they wanted to. So I would highlight that in yellow. A 1 meant that they really don't know the information yet and they are required to do a retake. So that easily showed me which kids I needed to pull aside and reteach and give retakes to. After I gave a retake, I would put hyphens next to the old grade and type in the new grade. That helped me see which student I already gave retakes to and the progress of the student. If a student didn't have to complete the assignment, maybe they were exempt or it wasn't something that needed to be done, I put an X or an A if they were absent. If the work was totally missing, I highlighted the box gray so that I knew to get that missing work from them. Under each of the assignment names, I made sure to put the date of the assignment, and then I also put 2 checkboxes. So the top one meant that the assignment in the gradebook was there already, so I already created that assignment, and it was good to go. The bottom one meant that all of the grades were in, even the retakes were changed. So if both boxes were checked, I knew that I didn't have to go back and change any of the grades for the report card. The dismissal tab is visible at the beginning of the year to make sure students are going to the right place. And I can display this on the board so students can be reminded of where they should go. After the beginning of the year, I sometimes move this tab over by dragging and clicking to move it once we've gotten the hang of our dismissal routine. In my reading tab, I keep track of who I met with for conferences and what we talked about. I put a tab for the class meetings to write down any of the issues and solutions that students came up with. The passwords tab is just in case someone forgets their login information for something. So on this template, you can really add anything that you want to. You can add a new tab by pressing the plus sign, and then you can rename it and drag it to wherever you want to go. You can even color code your tabs. I might do that later this year. Some other tabs I've had in the past have been like homework and writing. To scroll through your tabs, it's pretty easy. You can also press this button on the left to easily see all of them at one time if you don't like scrolling. If you download my product on Teachers Pay Teachers, you'll be given a blank template to start your own. And you can change it however you want to. You can add things, delete things, change things, and that's the whole beauty of Google Sheets. It's totally changeable. Between the tabs, the checklist, the highlighting, the freezing tabs, and more, this really has been a lifesaver in terms of having an efficient way to track student data. No more losing papers or having a ton of different places for data. It saves automatically. You can print it off during report card season. If you like looking at a paper copy, let me know in the comments any other ideas you may have for tracking student data or anything that should be added to this Google Sheet. This is Catherine with Bright Spots Teaching. I hope you enjoyed my data tracking game changer. Thanks so much for watching.